many ages, Earth has been a landing ground of alien experimentation and exploitation. Earth, we have received your call. From the far reaches of time and space, your parallel reality, comes the Galactic Federation of Light. And we are here now to assist you in your evolution to the new Earth. We have so much to tell you as we broadcast live on your progress, on your journey to the light of truth and the love of light. You are now listening to Tales from the Ship, only on Revolution Radio. Welcome, girls. How have you been?
Hey, good. How are you?
You're doing good, 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 good. I'm gonna take this off. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tales from the Ship. I'm Andy Moreno, and I have Jen Sullivan and Sarah Breskman tonight. I still don't know. I
It's
still
all
don't
right.
know your
It's
last name.
fine.
Sorry about that. So, girls, since last time, I have it individually. I have Sarah first, and then I have Jennifer. Sarah, she, had the book which is called Hypnosis Journey to Atlantis, and Jen, she actually wrote a book, The Child of the Universe. So you guys remember that? I don't know if you guys, my audience always remember. So I promise to bring you together so you guys can tell this story and how do these ideas about Atlantis, whatever happened, um, uh, occur. So you go ahead and start. In the meantime, we recovered our sister. Um,
Oh, okay.
but go ahead, Sarah. And how's everything? I know you were in Gaia. I know you've been promoting your book everywhere. So what's going on in Gaia? Do you have a good time?
Oh my gosh, they're so nice over there. It was great. I loved everybody there. It's really exciting, really, how all this information is so well received and how people are just so hungry for it. And people feel so activated and it heals them on so many levels when they get this information, whether it's from my book or Jen's book. So it's so amazing, to witness this. And what's just really great is to be able to help other people and help them remember. But I've been really busy. I've been working a lot. I've had a lot of clients share totally mind-blowing things. But yeah,
And
I'll
so,
tell you how we got into this, how this all came about.
right. And Jennifer, you were in the Keys and then you moved to Hawaii. Can you let us know how is Hawaii for you?
Oh, Hawaii is more than I ever thought it could be. It is beautiful. It is deep. It is just endless journeys everywhere you can go. Every road you walk down is just the most beautiful thing you've seen like so far in your life. So I can't complain.
Are you on the main island or you're in
I'm on the big island of Hawaii.
you're
So right
you're on
on
the big island?
the volcanoes in Kilauea.
Kilauea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in Maui though.
Oh, once we can get out and travel around the islands a bit more, there's a whole bunch I want to see, especially Molokai. There's a lot of really interesting legends that come from that island that I want to go and explore more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely.
Doing the bicycle trip at 4 a.m. in the morning and coming down from the volcano. I did all that. Guess who was there when I was there? Tom Hanks. He was.
Did you
He
talk
was
to
on the
him?
tour. He was on the. He was on our tour truck. Yeah, he came down on the bikes with us. He was with some people.
Oh, that's amazing. What a small world, isn't it? It's funny what people are pulled to the islands, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Sarah, lot of stuff happening with you, or you've been
Oh
traveling
my God.
everywhere. What's going
I
on with
was,
you?
yeah, I was traveling. I was just spending time with family, but now I'm working again, and the information is just flooding in. I mean, so many people are having a difficult time with this ascension process and these energies. It's like the message that I keep getting, though, recently is that they or the higher self really wants people to understand that there's no death. that to really understand that their loved ones are fine, and that it's basically like changing your bodysuit, that it's really just nothing more than that. They really want people to understand that. And they keep also telling people that they really want them to understand who they really are and why they're here. And that's very important. I keep getting that message all the time. And to try to connect with themselves and try to connect with that heart space. And I was like, well, how do they do that when so much craziness is happening around us? You know, there's so much, it's hard, you know, especially for sensitive people like me to be happy when I know somebody else is suffering. And they said it's important for the light workers to hold the light right now, like to just try to go to nature and feel the love that the nature is giving you, and spend time, as much time as you can in nature, and love as many people as you can, and be in that heart space. They're like, it doesn't matter what you do, you know, aside from that, that's the most important.
Groundedness.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So Jennifer, more is coming into you from your last book. More
Oh,
information.
definitely. I don't think they intended for that to just end there. I think that was honestly just the beginning of the tip of the iceberg, if you really want to put it that way. So much more, especially leaving leaving the Keys and coming to a place that was closer to where I believe everything did take place in Lemuria. I think it's helped open up new outlets and new channels to understanding it.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So, girls, now that we're together, we're gonna get into the bottom of everything, and just I want you guys to feel like we're just having a coffee here and a conversation, and you know, we're just having the three of us a coffee time, and it just let everybody know how all these two adventures, two babies, two books started.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm a hypnotist. So what I do is QHHT. And I mean, I had a long journey to get to do QHHT, but I needed a subject all of a sudden for, you know, somebody that I could videotape to take to this class, because I wanted to become a level 3 practitioner, which is the highest level. And I wanted somebody that wasn't going to pay me, because I knew the class was going to watch it. There are only 3 people in the class, but still. Um, so I just asked Jen if she would be my subject. And now this is how Jen was. She was a teacher at the school, very intellectual. I just didn't think that she would really be into this stuff, but I was kind of put under the, you know, I had to find somebody right away. So I asked her, and let me back up a little bit. Jen and I knew each other. We had known each other for so many years because our kids went to the same school, and she was a teacher there, and we sat together after school all the time just at the playground. So we would talk about things like, how are you? How's the weather? I mean, I feel like most people know what I do, and if they want to talk to me about spiritual things, they'll come to me, because I don't go and tell them everything I'm learning, because it's so mind blowing. I think people probably can't handle it, that don't, you know, I also don't want to rock other people's belief systems. I'm very respectful of that. So I only answer questions when they ask me. And she never brought any of this stuff up. The only thing she brought up was Esther Hicks. And I thought, oh my gosh, well, she's interested in Esther Hicks, maybe, you know. So I asked her, and she shocked me because she said she had been looking for something like this. So what I said was, I need a subject. I don't know if you're into this, but it's past life regression. And basically, it's going back to a past life or wherever you go, but you basically find out about yourself. It's a deep journey inwards where you can really understand who you really are, find out valuable things about yourself, and you can even heal your body if you have any issues. And she said, oh my gosh, I've been looking for something like this because I have this brain condition called pseudotumor cerebri, and it's causing all these issues. And I thought, oh, well, that's perfect. You know, you can heal your body in these sessions. So that is how it started originally for this information. And what was incredible was, you know, during our sessions, we uncovered all this information that's so valuable for the world to understand. It was all this information about Lemuria and Atlantis and how important this information is to get to the world. And in her session, they said this is her purpose. She needs to uncover this and share it with as many people, as she can. This is important. So what we also found out is in her previous existence in the 70s, she tried this before. She came here and tried to share this information. She was called crazy, lobotomized, and she killed herself. This is her next life. So I thought, oh my gosh, we better pull this information. This is really important information for the world to understand. And it kept coming. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And what was really weird was I wasn't planning on writing a book at all. I never had that intention. Her higher self kept telling me to do so. Other people's higher selves kept telling me to do so. And what happened was people would come to my office and they would, almost all of them, like a lot of them, share stories in their sessions under hypnosis about these same time periods in Atlantis and Lemuria. And I thought it was just a coincidence. I thought maybe every practitioner was having this phenomenon happen to them. And then I realized, oh, I'm getting this because they want me to share this information too, like from these other people, which confirmed so much of what Jen was saying. So that is why I wrote my book. And that is why Jen wrote her book. But I'll let you, Jen, tell your side of the story.
I think you did a pretty good job there, actually. I definitely came from a background where I was a teacher of language arts and social studies, and I have a background as being a journalist in the Middle East before I became a teacher. That kind of worked into motherhood well, rather than traveling around the Middle East with a baby in a backpack. So I found myself in the Florida Keys, really honestly thinking that was the last place I was ever going to end up in my life. Ooh, is he still there?
Uh-oh.
I think we got the show to ourselves. Welcome to the 144 Club with Jen and Sarah. You're the guests today? No, but
All right.
truly.
Oh, there he comes back. We were going to run the show.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. All right. And now we gotcha.
So you were saying,
yeah,
Jennifer?
I came from a background where I was very facts-based. I have 2 master's degrees. I was always very scientifically geared, and to fall into this, I think, was very uncharacteristic of me professionally. But inside, I've always been a very spiritual person looking for a deeper meaning to so much that I knew was there. I just couldn't understand all of it. I knew it was going to be a journey, and I knew it was going to take me a good portion of my life to understand whatever I needed to understand. But it was something I was always seeking, but never really very verbal about to people, just because you give off the air of, not everyone's spiritual. People tend to throw you into a category when you start talking like this.
Right. So,
which is why I never say anything.
Don't you think
I know.
Don't you think it's very interested that in the 70s you tried to share this information, and somehow you were not be able to, from one reason to another? For me, my grandmother used to say, "You always think suspicious, and you always gonna get it." So, call it evil forces, call it whatever you want to call it, but the information that happened before in Atlantis, what we're living today, because somehow this is a cycle is repeating themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on today? I'm gonna let you guys, elaborate on that. But can you imagine we would get this information in the 70s about the pandemic that they have in Atlantis, which is almost the same that we're having today, and how things unfold in Atlantis is almost the same thing that is happening today? We would already know this. And when the dark um, try to remember, most of the dark entities that don't have souls, so they cannot manifest things. We have souls, we can manifest, because we usually manifest for them through their programs, through our subconscious, through other things. So If we would have this information in the 70s, we would have known this. We would have never manifest what they want them to manifest today. So
Mhm.
that's just a hitch. My heart is just telling me this right now. But anyways, I want you guys to elaborate on all these virus, whatever happened in Atlantis that you guys found out.
But see, it couldn't have been spread then because we're always being helped. It's such divine timing. There's no, in the grand scheme of things, there's no bad. There's no wrong choices. You know what I mean? When it comes to certain things that go in the arm. What do I call it? The jab? Is a jab okay?
Yeah. No
Okay.
problem. No
Okay.
problem.
So when we were uncovering our information,
Yeah.
we were uncovering that Jen was a princess in Lemuria,
Right.
and she was going to be the ruler. And they had some special type of immunity on their island, and it would work all the way up to the water's edge, and it would protect all of the inhabitants from illnesses. They would still have pain and issues like that, but not viruses and stuff like that. And I was curious, why would the Atlanteans want anything to do with somebody, a civilization that wasn't as advanced? Because the Atlanteans were so advanced because they originated from technology from an alien ship, an
Right.
ET ship, and the commander was kind of trying to recreate his planet because he couldn't go home,
Right.
and he created a lot of human slaves. So I was like, why would they want anything to do with the Lemurians? And it was because they had this immunity. Now, I had so many clients coming to have a session, and they kept saying that there was smog all over. I even had a client in 2016 talk about quarantine, but I didn't know it was Atlantis. He was somewhere that looked old, but it had so much technology. He saw floating cars. He was in quarantine because there was a really deadly virus. So I did get some information, but I didn't know the context. I didn't know, he didn't say it was Atlantis or anything like that. But now I think, oh my gosh, everything he said sounded like it. But I would have so many clients explain that they saw this smog everywhere, that it was hard to see the sun. It was like this haze. And I was wondering why that was. And I found out it was because they were burning the bodies in Atlantis because there was such a bad virus there. And they were looking for immunity, which is why they came to Lemuria.
Mm. Jen, anything that you want to elaborate? Anything that you remember about that time on that subject?
You know, one of the things that I found was really like just powerful throughout the whole process with their immunity was that they were willing to do anything to get it. They were willing to sacrifice an entire continent of people just for their own benefit. And I look at it and I just feel like, has that not led us to where we are at this point now, that we are just at the point where we're all willing to sacrifice each other in order to move forward to some kind of normal that will never really happen. There has to be a compromise somewhere, and we're at that headbutting point right now, where we have divided ourselves and we have that line down the middle.
Right. Right. Hey,
Yeah.
Definitely.
I understand. I understand. And this is a question for you, Jen. The Lemurians were as well. Yet, yeah, some part of the Lemuria, because Lemuria was too big. Some part of the Lemurians, they were a little bit more primitive, but there's some other parts that were very highly advanced, especially Hawaii, technologically advanced, because they were actually um, protected. I understand by the lion people from Vega, and the lion people, and others like the Andromedans, and because on that time we had visitors from everywhere in the universe. I mean, people wasn't used to seeing flying cars everywhere. For instance, ships. It
Huh.
was normal, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Technologically speaking, in Lemuria, what is the thing that you remember the most, Jan?
The usage that we had of the, well, beyond the immunity, the power of the red crystals that we had. There's a little bit of a
The red
feedback for me. I'm not
crystals.
sure if you hear it as well, but
A
yeah,
little.
okay, excellent. You can hear me. A little
Yes.
muffled. Sorry. The usage of the red crystals in the ceremonies would allow us to kind of transcend dimensions.
Yeah.
So I think that was
Crystals.
probably my technology we encountered.
The crystal technology is somehow is coming back.
Yeah.
It's
Your
coming
face
back.
is funny. Is there a problem with the feedback or anything with what I'm
I
saying?
couldn't hear what you said, the last sentence of that.
Oh, could you hear me either? I'm sorry. I hear a little bit of feedback. I'm going to try and move this a little closer.
I can hear you now.
A little bit better?
Yeah.
Better, yes.
All right, excellent. The ability of the red crystals to transcend dimensions. We were able to go into other dimensions and communicate with what we believed were our ancient ancestors, but I think they were people who were left on other planets who were communicating with us and guiding us.
And that's what I understand, the communication with other species around the cosmos. I understand the Lemuria have a Stargate as well. There were some gatekeepers, and this is um, me doing past life regressions with the Akasha records, not with hypnosis. This is what I see in some of the Lemurian people that have been there. Um, Apparently, there was an Stargate, and the Stargate was technically during the Lemurian Atlantean War was actually captured and accessed by the Atlantis. The Atlantis removed it from Lemuria, but I don't know if you remember any of that. But I just wanted to. I'm just curious.
Well, I know that it spanned for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And I
Yeah.
know that, I don't know if you remember any of that, Jen, but I know that we were meant to report on the very last days of it.
In the sessions, I felt that there was an ancient opening that was protected by this brotherhood that existed on our land, and that they guarded something similar to that. And it wasn't for everyone to go through, that it was something very sacred and very special, but it wasn't something I was ever initiated into or I was allowed to do. I think I just recall knowing of it, but I was still in a position when I became queen that I wasn't informed enough on it. It was a very quick process. And, the full briefing wasn't done, I guess. But it'll be a good question to look at next time we're in a session.
I was just saying, I want to put that on the list and look into that.
Definitely.
It's like a Stonehenge in England. A lot of people that have past life regressions in England remember Stonehenge being a Stargate. So they will cross there. They will go there from there to Mars. They report going to Mars and coming back in a Stonehenge. So it's interesting. You should put it in the list. So
Oh my gosh, it's on the list. Yeah.
Absolutely. Are the same rulers from Atlantis? Is the same rulers that we have today?
Yeah, we did receive information about the circles, though. We did see that they were.
Yeah, the circles were used to Oh, go ahead.
I think they've taken different forms, and I'm not sure they're exactly the same. Oh, sorry, I think there's a little delay in what we're saying. I apologize. But
yeah, the circles, they were chasms. So like Stonehenge, they were chasms. So back when the ETs were seeding the planet, they needed a way to travel through the earth to go from one side to another quickly. So they would use those circles to go through the ley lines and go to different places on Earth.
Yeah. What if I tell you that technology is going to be reopened again on the planet?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
You know everything.
The ley lines that you're saying. Well, here we go. Not everybody knows about the ley lines. Uh, and when you know about ley lines, you understand that those are pressure points of the planet
Yeah.
that can hold uh, the whole time and space, and technically they're portals. It's like
Mhm.
Sedona is part of a ley line. Cairo, Egypt is part of a ley line. Hawaii is part of a ley line. And, I mean, in Mexico, somewhere in Los Cabos, it's part of a ley line, and it goes like that. So I just know a couple of certain points. I'm having to study all of them, but yes, the technology, apparently, the technology that is coming, the medbeds, they're supposed to come in. They already are being developed. They're already in progress. So Western medicine is going to be off the window once the entire um, once that the people is actually going to know the truth about everything, about what's going on with with the jab and what is all this agenda. When everything unfolds and goes to the light, because the light is taking over little by little. But medved's supposed to be there. Those portals that you're talking about, that if you want to go to France for the afternoon and come back home and sleep, you're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to go to Paris for 1 minute for the entire afternoon and just walk back into the circle and you're back home. It's going to happen. Um, so flying is not going to be needed anymore. Um, Now flying cars are coming back to the planet. It's already happening. Um, BMW, what is it? Mercedes. They already have flying cars. They're ready to go and large scale. So as we speak, I don't know if you saw um, the Olympics. Toyota is creating these droids. It's not even a droid. It has wheels and it has a huge screen for people who cannot attend school. They're ill and they're on the hospital. They can still take the class from home.
Wow.
So this huge screens with wheels will go into the classroom and they will be like there. You can see it on the screen, the person, these holograms. So the whole hologram scenario is coming back as well. We're going from
Mhm.
from Dick Tracy, which and iWatch has more technology than Dick Tracy's self. Uh, you remember the Dick Tracy, the guy,
Yeah.
yeah, the cartoons. Dick Tracy used to talk over the phone and on his watch, and we thought it was the most cooler thing ever.
Yeah.
And this, on back in the day in the 80s. If you see the technology from Star Trek, it's going to
Yeah.
be completely absolute uh, compared with what we're going to have. What we're going to have, Jesus, is thousands and thousands of years ahead of what we're supposed to have. But because the planet is being induced, when I say induced, because we missed our last ascension. We didn't have ascension the last time the planet is supposed to have an ascension. The dark stopped the ascension. So now the Federation is here in the Central Sun government, which is the creator's government, God itself, the angelic realm. They're doing this. They induce the planet to jump it from 3 to 5 and have ascension because it has to have one. Um, so there's a lot of stuff coming. So I can go to Hawaii in 2 seconds with a portal and go and visit you, Jennifer.
Come on. I'm waiting. I got a blender inside. Let's go.
Oh my goodness! Don't
It's
even get
only
started.
2:30 here in the afternoon. We've got all day, buddy.
Right?
Yeah.
So Sarah, are you still? I know you like to sail, right? Do you have
Sail?
a boat? You have a sailing boat or
Oh, we have boats, but not sailing boats
no
because I
sailing
live in the
boats?
Keys.
Okay.
No, we have four boats. I don't know why we need four boats, but we have four boats because everybody in my family likes to fish.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah,
So there is
except
more.
me.
What's going on with? Have you had more clients just like Jennifer that will still giving you information about Atlantis? Did they still remember it?
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's kind of like filled in the missing pieces for me. But what's really funny is that the universe keeps sending people to me for a reason. I mean, all these sessions are totally set up by our spiritual teams. But
Right.
just like as an example, um, Jen and I are working on our second book. I'm working on mine and she's working on hers. And I've been transcribing the sessions. And in it, she said, there was a person named Three, and he had all this information and everything like that. I never thought anything of it. In fact, I forgot it till I was transcribing this session. And I had a client come who is this great subject. And at the end, he said, just call me Three. My name is Three. And that's not his name. So it's like all this stuff keeps happening like that, just set up so I can get this information out, basically.
Right. It will be very interesting. Have you ever heard about the we live in a flat? Have you ever heard about the flat Earth theory?
Oh, the
The-
flat earth. Yeah.
Okay, that we live inside of this ice ring, right?
Uh-huh.
And there is more land outside of this ice ring.
Uh-huh.
Um, Apparently, there is land, more islands. The planet is supposed to be bigger than what we really know. It's way bigger than what we really think it is. Um, so we'll be interested if you ever come across someone, or maybe ask the question to someone's higher self, if y- anyone will come from the outer rings of the ice wall.
Interesting. I'll ask.
Hmm.
Add it to the list.
You
The
have to
outer
ask
ring.
because you never know. There might be people. There is actually volunteer to reincarnate inside of in the inner ring, but not the outer ring. I'm talking to the ice wall. Um, I got a map I was showing you guys earlier that I want to share with all of you. And I got some. I've been doing some research and putting some Lemuria, and Atlantis maps. But look at this map. This is technically Atlantis Island, right in the middle. Um, the Confederation of Kingdoms and Freedoms on Atlantis, and the Telesocratic Empire. I think that's what it says. Telesor- Telesocratic Empire. But what is interesting here is the other empires that went around. For instance, the Nemes, all everywhere inside of Europe. Russia was Hippemogli. I never heard about that. Um, Whereas Iraq, Jerusalem, Turkey, this is technically Italy, Greece, all this, Spain, Portugal. There was all Atlantis um, area of influence, technically. But look Africa, the Ubars, the Nijami, the Censuras.
Mhm.
This is where these were technically the all the people or the clans or they used to live back in the day. The very famous Kumari Kingdom below India, which was Meru, Japan, Katigara, the Nakal colonies right here. Um, well, the Nakal colonies are technically where's Japan? I think it's here, right? Not here,
Mhm.
if I'm not mistaken. And then the continent of Mu, which is part of Lemuria. Oops, sorry. Part of Lemuria, continent of Mu. Here, this was Hawaii and to the Galapagos Island. Um, El Dorado. I was watching a movie of. I don't know if you remember the Crystal Skull. So with Indiana Jones, they were talking about the El Dorado. And El Dorado was surreal. It was almost half of Brazil, and it used to go all the way to Peru. This is the Lima, Peru is somewhere around here. Colombia, half of Brazil, the Nacal colonies, and then the Trapalam. I'm Mexican, so I know the Aztlans.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the Aztecs. Then they're moving into Mexico City. The Tula continent or country. Look, the Keys and the Kiviria. I never heard of it. Never heard of any of this. Or the Mayoas. This is the Bahamas. Look, Aztlan area influence. So the Aztlan people, which is the Native Americans in the United States, and the Aztecs used to rule all America, United States, back in the day. So I'm gonna send you this. You can start asking questions, okay, Sarah?
Sure. Send it to me.
Absolutely. Um, that's another. That's technically
Yes.
Atlantis. No, that's American. The Atlantis areas of influence, and then Lemuria areas of influence on red. This is Kumarikandam. That they were
We're gonna,
very
we're gonna have a
advanced,
quiz on it.
right? Kumarikandam as well. Lemuria. Um, Atlantis, some of the maps that I ever find out. I'm sorry. I have more Atlantis as well. I know Atlant was in the middle of the island. That was the big city. That's the one that I remember. As you can see, yeah, that's just Poseidonis and all these like Greek names. See, this is why Greeks was so connected with the Atlanteans because they have the same, almost the same language and orthography, and this is why Platos used to talk about Atlantis back in the day. Right, Atlantis. Look, at, Atlan, and this is how they actually remember. People are
It
remembering
translated
the
well.
flooding,
Yes,
the flooding city in the middle.
definitely.
Was that Jennifer? Do you remember any of this in
Yep.
Atlantis, the floating city? I don't know if we can hear you. We're still having trouble. We're having trouble listening to you, sister. Somehow.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
There was definitely that concentric circle. Definitely the circle else. Oops. Is everything okay? Can you hear me?
We hear you now. Yes.
No.
Uh-oh. But yeah, even my clients remember the circles, the moats. And it's really interesting because not only did the moats protect the city, but they also used it to get their fresh drinking water. They used a special type of propulsion system. They
Right.
used a lot of propulsion with their ships and stuff like that. Same kind of technology that extraterrestrials use now because it was, because they
Right.
originated from extraterrestrials.
I gotta tell you something. The city of Atlant, it was a copy, or I'm sorry, the city of Tenochtitlan on the Aztec Empire. It was a copy of the city of Atlant. It was built in the middle of a lake.
Oh,
in a circle format, just like that one.
Wow,
So
that's interesting.
there is no coincidence.
No, there isn't. You know, it's really fascinating because when people remember their lifetime on other planets, a lot of times it looks just like Atlantis because they modeled it from, you know, from those other planets.
Yeah,
So many people right now have memories of living in Atlantis or Lemuria because so
right.
many of us did. And that's why we're here at this time, because so many things are happening again right now. History is just repeating itself until we learn the lesson. But we're doing better, so much better this time. I mean, we're such a different grouping of people now. We have like compassion and the technology now. And that's what we were missing then.
Correct.
Hey.
We got Jen back. Jen is in Hawaii, guys, and I think it's something going on with the Wi-Fi. I don't know. Jen, are you
Any better
there?
now? Are you guys able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. Good, good, good. All right. I think we
You
just
were, what is it you were saying about the circles? Can you repeat that again? Because we never got to listen to hear
what
what you were saying.
one of the clearer memories that I had from that lifetime was standing on top of a bridge in Atlantis, and I was about to jump off of it, hoping I would gain my freedom away from these Atlanteans. And in the distance, I could see the concentric circles of canals surrounding the capital city. And that was one of the few things I was able to see outside of my imprisonment there. And I do remember clearly seeing this ring after ring after ring, and it separated the people by classes. Yes.
Interesting.
With the innermost circle being the upper echelons of society, the most wealthy, the most influential, the most powerful. And then your blue collar workers in the second ring around, and then your farm workers, your slaves, etc., all out into the third ring.
Very interested. Very interested.
And then with your maps as well, another cool thing that came across in our sessions was a trail of islands off the main island of Atlantis to the south, trailing down towards the Bahamas, towards southern Florida, down
Yes,
into the
I think
Keys.
I have that one too. Let me see if I
And
can.
they utilized those islands as well, heavily. Yeah.
Let me see if I have that as well.
Yeah.
And I believe this is what you're talking about right here.
Yeah.
One I was looking
Yeah.
at, and I definitely resonated with it.
Wow.
Those islands, they call them the Playeres too, and they goes all the way to the Keys. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I live in the Keys. I had no idea when I moved to the Keys. I just wanted to move somewhere warm. And then I found out I live very close to where I died in that lifetime. And now Jen's back in Hawaii.
Correct. Correct. But look at the names, guys. Look at the names of the places: Poseidonis,
Some
Cyclops,
that where they had a nice trail of islands that would connect all the way down towards Florida.
There you go. Yes. So I'm gonna stop this for a second. Just go back to you guys. If there's anything else, Zara, or go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah.
I think it's just a delay.
It could be a delay, right?
Filling in the blanks of history.
Yeah, filling in the blanks of history. No, but what's really important about those islands is that that is where they housed the people that had the genetic defects from the jab. So,
and that part of Africa
had,
too, of Northern Africa.
oh, it's a delay. Oh, I guess her
The
signal.
internet is jumping.
Oh, well, yeah. So what happened was there was a virus that was affecting Atlantis. They came to Lemuria to find out how they were able to get this immunity, because the Lemurians had this special immunity that they didn't have. And they asked them for their red crystals. And when they said no, they destroyed with a tidal wave their whole civilization. I have so many clients that have horrific memories of that tidal wave. I know you do too, I think you said. And they took Jen as a prisoner because they wanted her, to share how they had this information, how they had this immunity. Anyway, it's so crazy because I asked Jen before any of this if she believed in extraterrestrials, and she said she didn't think so. Okay, that's to give you the context. Like, she was just such a newbie to this. Okay, so I was like, oh boy, you don't believe in extraterrestrials. That's fine. We'll see what happens. Okay, I didn't say anything, but then of course she was one, and she's uncovering all this information. So just to give you the background of that. So anyway, that's another reason why I really believe this information, because she didn't know any of this stuff. She had never read any of the books that I've read. She didn't even know about this stuff. So anyway, so they destroyed Lemuria and they took Jen because they wanted to find the immunity. And meanwhile, they were testing, and they developed a jab that they gave to all the Atlanteans. It was a mandatory jab, and it looked like a huge success. They seem to have stopped this virus, and people were very happy about it, celebrating even. And it wasn't until the first set of babies started being born from the parents who received this jab that they noticed that there were terrible side effects. And what was happening was these babies were born with animal side effects. Some of them looked like cat people, children, the fish, gills, all different kinds of things. And that side effect is still flowing lightly in our genes. Some people are born with gills, some people are born with a tail, and it's from that. And anyway, so it looked like um, that was just an issue. But what they noticed was, or what happened was, they started killing off these people because at the time period, a lot of them were very judgmental, and if you didn't fit into this white Aryan race with the blonde hair, blue eyes, basically, then you were just not Atlantean during this particular time, because Atlantis spanned thousands of years, and there were many beautiful times as well. But they killed them until they realized, wait a minute, there's something about these children. They actually have some abilities where they could put a crystal to their forehead and read the crystal. They had this special energy that they could tap into and use it to heal other people. They could actually tap into the ley lines and get the information. So these people that had these defects actually had these abilities. So they started testing them and used them as slaves. But I think what's important to understand is that there was no bad, because this was all divinely orchestrated. So there were side effects of that jab, just like there are side effects of the jabs going on, with the childhood jabs, where there's, sometimes there's savants that have obviously opened an ability in their mind. They can memorize things. And so that, I think we're so quick, even though that's horrible. Who wants to have that side effect? But it's there for a reason, if that makes sense.
Correct. Jen, I'm sorry we lost you. We can't hear you for some reason. Ah, poor Jen. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a StreamYard or maybe is the Wi-Fi. I mean, I don't know what it is. It could be the broadcast. Um, But okay, we're trying to see if we can hear you. Can you say something? We can't hear her.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You can mime to us.
Yes. Well, um, I'll tell you something. I hope that we don't have side effects like we have in Atlantis in the modern day. Um, I just hope that things are not gonna go south like everybody's predicting.
Uh,
Some people say that people that have two jobs, their lifespan is 2 years. I refuse to believe that. Um, I
well,
hope for the sake for the humanity that doesn't happen. And
people
I
come.
really want to. So this is the reason why I when I come onto my show, I tell everybody that you request the most benevolent timeline for everybody in this planet, for all our brothers and all our sisters. Request it because we can manifest things. We can definitely manifest things. We are the ones that we can manifest this. This is our real power is the manifestation. The humans who we are because we have so much DNA. They have um, make experiments on us since Sam Janssen. That was the Pleiadian,
Hmm.
they call him the mad science guy. That he arrived with Commander Atlan in Atlantis. Sam Janssen started playing with genetics and grab animals and create centauros, half man, half bull,
Yeah.
and stuff. No, so for real, he's the one that started doing that. Some people actually blame Sam James to be the creator of the mermaids.
Hmm.
Some people believe the mermaids were already here. There was just it's just another race that we actually share the planet.
I'm sure there's many different types, but one thing that I hear all the time because people that's like top on their list of questions. What do I do if I have to get this? Oh my gosh, am I going to live? How do I work? So this is what the higher self has told me. They've said that if you do not okay, they've said that if you need a side effect for whatever reason, for learning, then you will have one. But if you do not need it to learn from, then you won't. And to ask, for guidance and for, to be okay. Because what they always want everyone to know is that we're really powerful and that who we really are is this ancient grouping of beings that has traveled from planet to planet to see what the next and the next will be. So we're so incredibly powerful and we can manifest anything right now. I don't know if you've experienced this, but I've manifest a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't really want. Like I can think about it and get a headache or something, but
Manifestations are faster than ever.
I know,
You
which
know,
is
Jen,
good, but
for instance, Jen, I was just talking to her like yesterday when she told me that she wanted to go to Hawaii, and there you go, she's in Hawaii.
yeah,
So it happens very quickly.
The trick I found is saying it out loud to yourself. You have
yeah.
you really have to believe it. You really have to say it out loud. You have to say it. I am moving to Hawaii. And I'm going on this date and I'm selling my house and all my stuff. And that's what we're doing. And you have to really back yourself up when you say it. And that's the key to manifesting what you want. It's not that hard, but it also, you're the only one who'll ever get in your own way.
Yeah.
Every time. I've done it the hard way a million times.
Hey, I have a little formula for manifestation. 369. Three things that you want for six times a day. You repeat it for 9 seconds.
Oh, I
Three,
love
six, nine.
that.
That's long enough to get it going.
Try
Definitely.
try that. When you need to manifest something quickly, three things that you want 6 times a day. Put them on your phone as a reminder. 9 seconds.
That's
You gotta
amazing.
say it.
I love it. And they always want us to ask for help. They always say that, oh, she's not asking for help, or she needs to ask. We can't do anything if they don't ask. So ask.
Yeah.
Correct.
There was something I wanted to share with you before we go that I even now I still get goosebumps when I think about it a little bit. The last time I spoke with you, we had a moment, I felt like, when you described this wave that you felt that you experienced in Lemuria as well, that you held those two children in your arms and you pushed their face away from the wave and you watched it and you comforted them as it was about to come and kill everybody. I have had so many readers who have watched your show contact me and tell me the same exact thing, that they heard you say those words and it was just like electricity through their veins. And it just opened something up for them that's allowed them to go further and remember this lifetime. And I just wanted to share that with you now that we're talking again, because I have had dozens.
Wow, you're giving me, you're
right?
making the goosebumps right now.
Me too, 100%, like up and down. Just that vision of watching that wave while holding those children's faces away, it was unbelievable. It has stuck with me since then. And I feel that it gives me a lot of courage looking at the story and looking to find that peace for people in it. That's really what it's coming down to, is finding that peace and that ability to put this away for good and to evolve from it.
Because
so Jennifer, before we lose you for any reason,
yeah,
let me quickly ask. I want to ask you first, what's going on with your second baby, which is your book? When is coming?
We're looking to have it done by the end of this year, is what I'm guessing. I think that's my timeline to finish this, is by the end of 2021 and early 2022 to have it published and ready to go. And it's going to take a little bit of a different perspective this time. It's going to go into the lifetime that I had before this. And it's going to go into how this young woman uncovered this information, all about Lemuria, all about that lifetime, and what was done to her in the 70s as a result of it. And how much further she is able to understand our true origins here on Earth while she's incarcerated in a mental institution. How she sees the truth through that.
Woo! That's gonna be intense.
Yes.
So Sarah, when is yours coming?
Same time. I'm really working on it a lot. I've been getting, like I said, a lot of clients, uncovering, saying all these things. And so ours just has different formats.
So you're gathering more info
Getting
from
more
the Atlantean perspective from different clients. Is that what
right.
you're doing?
I am. I'm getting more different perspectives from different people and uncovering the information that she found in that lifetime, which there's a lot more. But ours are just different perspectives, because this is from a bunch of people and hers is a firsthand perspective.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Jen, what you just told me gave me electricity all over my body, because it's something that I remember very well, and it's something that stuck with me too. It's funny that people remember the tidal wave.
They always remember the wave. So many. It haunts their dreams. It's in their daydreams. It's everywhere. It's a powerful trigger.
But see, for the Atlanteans, it's the jab.
It is.
Yeah, it's true.
Definitely.
It's true. It's true. Wow. This is we just like uncovering our own past and the planet. This is what I love to talk to both of you. You both invited to present their books, your books when you guys are ready. You're more than welcome to come back. And before we get out of here, anything else you want to add, Sarah?
I just want to say that so many people remember these lifetimes, and a lot of people are back now to release this trauma, because so many people have this little nagging feeling like something just isn't right, or there's something they need to find out about. And a lot of times it's from this life. And so in order to let it go, just either go inwards and try to feel what it is that's really bothering you, or, read one of these books, listen to this kind of thing so that you can release this trauma. It doesn't take much. It's easy to release it in this lifetime.
Where can people find you, Sarah?
They can find me on theholistichuhypnotist.com.
And the other question that somebody asked me to ask you: do you do sessions by video sessions
No, QHHT is supposed to be done on, I mean, in person.
in person? Okay.
Yeah,
There's
but I do other
someone
things.
that's want me to ask you that. Okay,
Yeah.
Jennifer, where can people find you?
You can find me at jlfsullivan.com, and you can find out all information about the new book that's going to be coming out, the first book, and any other things that Sarah and I are being involved in right now. We love to post it and let everybody know.
Girls, both of the books are in Amazon. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And iTunes or not yet?
No, not yet. Mine's almost available in Audible and in Spanish, almost.
Oh,
Like
bueno,
another
muy
week.
bien, señorita, para toda la
Yeah.
gente de Latinoamérica que nos está escuchando ahorita.
I love it.
Sí, sí, sí. It's funny that somebody told me, Andres, you got to do shows in Spanish, please, please. And I said, okay, I'll try. I
It
haven't
sounds so
done that
cool.
yet. Yeah, yeah. I think at some point I'm gonna, I'm gonna find the right software so I can probably have you guys and do it for the Spanish community, and
Yeah.
so people can see the subtitles and know what you're saying and all that stuff. I just gotta do the research. I'm sure the StreamYard will have something soon that I can add. It's just learning about these programs. That's all about what it is. But anyways, girls, I'm so thrilled. Thank you for coming to Tales for the Ship.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And,
much.
so, Jennifer, what time is in Hawaii as we speak?
It's 3:00.
Oh my God. And here is 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Well, have fun. Have a pina colada on me.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Yep.
Today is it raining or was a sunny day?
It's beautiful outside. You can see the ocean for miles. The sun is shining, and it's like about 78 degrees. It's just
Oh,
perfect.
wow.
Yeah.
Are you learning surfing yet or not yet?
I'm starting on the boogie boards. I'm a little intimidated by big waves just yet,
Okay.
if you know what I mean.
All right. And Sarah, well, it's 9 o'clock where you are because we're in Eastern Standard Time where we are.
Yeah.
But how's the weather down there? Is it nice?
I mean, it's so hot in the Keys right now, but it's still really beautiful. I live right on the water and I can look and see the, sunrise and the sunset. It's so gorgeous here. I absolutely love where I live because it's just so beautiful.
Envy. I have envy of the good one for all of you, for both of you.
Yeah, it's hot here.
Good
It's hot
envy,
here.
not bad envy. Good envy.
It's good to have friends who live in beautiful places.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah Breskman Cosme and Jennifer Sullivan. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you guys back on the ship soon. Once you guys are ready with the books, I'll bring you back so we can talk about it. And in the meantime, hopefully, Zara, I might have to give you a call so I can give you some ideas so you can ask.
Oh, yeah. Give me a list.
I'll tell you. Yes, I'm going to send you some pictures
would
of
like
the outer
that.
rings and everything.
Cool.
So maybe we can start finding more civilizations outside of our ring where we're supposed to have more land and islands and more stuff. So, anyways, and for everybody who's watching, thank you for tuning in us. I see you guys on the ship and see you around. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself. Aloha, mahalo.
Yeah.
See you later. I'll see you guys, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Tales from the Ship. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye, guys.
Bye.